Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to look at the newest Tier 8 Premium that has arrived, but before we do, if you enjoy this video, please leave it a like and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Alright, so what is the newest Premium and should you buy one? It is the Swedish Emil 1951 heavy tank, or as I'm going to call it, the Bouncing Beast. If you want my short review, here it is. It's got good turret armor, good damage output, play it hull down, and it will be your friend as long as you can handle the almost 27-second reload. And the 3-shot autoloader. Basically, if you can handle a Swedish heavy, that's basically the short review. If you can handle a Swedish heavy, then you'll be fine. Buy it. If you can't, don't buy it. Right, on to the longer review. I'm not going to bore you with every stat, mostly because I find that boring myself, so I'm just going to talk about the things that I like about this tank and whether or not, as a whole, I like to play it. In a nutshell, and as I've previously just said, it's fairly obvious, this is a Swedish heavy. These tanks have a very specific playstyle. Hull down all the way, relying on your turret to protect you as you fire back at the enemy team. The turret, the face of the turret, has 180mm of armour at a 45-degree angle, and what that equates to is 246mm of armour on your turret. That's pretty good, which is exactly what all the Swedish heavies are good at. They have great turrets. What this does mean for you, and you'll see it in this game, not coming up anytime soon, I don't think. I think this game is about 5 minutes long, so we're only two minutes in roughly, so a little bit further on in this video. What this armour means is that you can bounce a Jagdpanzer E100 with RNG on your side, admittedly, yes, if they get a low roll, obviously, yes, but you can bounce tier 10s. A Jagdpanzer E100 is probably one of the biggest tier 10s with the biggest gun in the game, so if you can bounce one of those, you're doing very, very well in a tier 8. It's really not bad. This tank is also no slouch when it comes to getting around. With a top speed of 45 km an hour, it is certainly much faster than most of its other tier 8 heavy counterparts. So far, I'd say it's all sounding very good. But this is where I need to get down to the details that might put some of you off. The gun. Yes, it does 360 average damage. And it has it's got 3 shots in the clip with a 2.75 second intra-clip reload. But the pen is only 217. And for a tier 8 premium heavy, that is a little on the low side. It's not, it's not Chrysler K low, but it can leave you at a disadvantage when you're coming up against tier 10s. Like I am in this game, and what you're seeing here is actually the first game I ever played in the 1951. The strategy for getting around this low pen is to actually, in my opinion, is to use the 12 degrees of gun depression that this gun has got. 12 degrees, that's insane. That's incredibly good gun depression. And that's why these tanks are as good as they are, because they've got the turret armour and they've got the gun depression, and I think this is where I bounce. There we go. Yeah. Incoming shot. Ping straight off the top of my turret. Awesome. Anyway, up against tier 10s, yes. The strategy for facing tier 10s, in my opinion, is to use the 12 degrees of gun depression and hit the lower plates of tier 10s where possible, because that's always the weak spot. If you can hit a tier 10 in the front lower plate while staying hull down yourself, you're going to be okay in this thing. Now, I don't last too much longer in this battle because I'm, bottom tier, and my team has slowly died around me. But the result, there we go, I'm gone. But the result of this battle is a good one. So there we go. That's the first game I ever played. It's a victory, and we get second place. Now, the only reason we got second place is because I was spotting the Jagdpanzer and the French TD. Name escapes me. I should know this, but I don't. I get the spotting assist, so there we go. There's the first game I ever played in the 1951. Jumping back then to the tank itself. 12 degrees of gun depression, that's the last thing I mentioned about this. That is really, really good for any tank, really. 12 degrees is incredible. And the turret armor, 246 mil of armor on the front of this turret, you combine that with the gun depression, the armor, the damage, the burst output for this gun. That's what the strengths of this tank are. It's relatively fast for a heavy. It can put damage out tier for tier. It can put good damage out. It can bounce tier for tier. I mean, heck, it can even bounce tier 10s, as you just saw. So it's not a bad tank, but what I would say, the caveat to this tank is that you have to be patient with it, and the standard reload is 28 seconds. I've got it down to 20... It popped up on the screen there, I can't remember what it was. 27 point something seconds, and that's even less with food in. If you can handle that, if your playstyle is... If you're comfortable with waiting for 30 seconds to reload, and backing up and maneuvering like this just to avoid artillery shots, artillery fire, playing hull down, if you know how to do that, and you're comfortable with doing that, then this tank is definitely one I would recommend for you. I like this tank because I'm okay with that playstyle, and I've played the entire Swedish heavy line, and I've got the Kronvagn, and for me, I love playing the Kronvagn. It's great. It's a winner in my books. So, if I'm going to round this one up, if you don't like the Swedish heavy playstyle, then move on from this one. This one is not for you. But if you do like the Swedish heavy playstyle, then this is a tank that I would certainly recommend. I wouldn't hesitate. And I would also, if you're willing to spend the money, I would suppose, if you want to find out what the Swedish heavy playstyle is, but you don't want to grind an entire line, you could get this tank just to see what it's like. Yeah, it's probably expensive, and it's probably an expensive option, but if you've got the money and you don't mind, saving yourself some time with the grind, then get it, by all means. This is a good place to learn that playstyle. Alright, so there you have it. That's about all I've got for this one. If you've enjoyed this video, please leave it a like. If not, a dislike. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and as always, I hope you're all still keeping safe, and I will see you out there.